Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and also good evening. Welcome to my channel, guys. Yay! I've been seeing this thing, the videos and everything of Mama Samke. If you do not know Samke is Itobazade who does ibizwa ngani? Iponje. Let me just put it like that. Don't forget to adult what. So now videos of her mom were circulating the internet, social media, to Twitter or X, where she was saying what she wishes something bad could happen to some gay. She wishes a lot of bad things to happen to some gay. I'll admit this. Okay, this I was watching the interview that she did with excuse me, it's H with Uhlengiwe, and this is only a review of 30 minutes of that, the first 30 minutes of 30 or 35 minutes of that interview, because it's a lot. I've written bullets down. I'm going to be reading them and giving my opinion. I'm also like, because at first when I saw these videos of her mom talking, I was like, Mamunjani, what kind of a mother would say such things about her own child, the child that she gave birth to? You understand? And at this point, I don't want to lie to you. I'm not saying Gucci now. I'm on her mom's side or some gay side, but what I'm saying is that, that picture where you'll see a lion, and if you look at it on the other side, you think the lion, the cub's mouth is in the lion's mouth. But if you look kwelinye icala, uzobona ukuthi no, bayibambela entameni. And then they would say something about ukuthi bheka kahle izinto, stop judging izinto from one angle or one side. Be sure of what you're talking about before you even open your mouth. That's what I get from that whole picture. I think at this point, that's exactly what's happening, because I did that. I only looked at this one side, and there is also the saying that it's important to get two sides of the story, or they say there are three sides: your version, my version, and the truth. At this point, we are still on. This is Samke'S mom's side. Then Samke hasn't spoken out yet. I haven't even started looking up for interviews where Samke spoke about this and all of that. No, I just saw when she posted Gucci, her mom doesn't like her and stuff like that and all of that. And I won't lie, I was one of the people who was like, no, to hell with the mom and all of that. And of which I was wrong. It's very wrong with that. Because I also did not know the full story. You understand? When I even said or made that comment, I was like, no, mama ko wrong. Your mom is supposed to love you and all of that. A woman who, and at first when I heard the video of her mom saying all those things about her, that she wishes that she could go back to the streets, become a junkie, she could be raped, she could be killed. I was in my head, I thought Guti, her mom was also in the same field. Her mom was also a person who used to sell ibodi, who's also into drugs. That's what I thought. Also into drugs. Who was just a reckless mom. You understand? Because there are people who grew up, or who are even being parented by parents who are like that. I mean, I will not lie, my mom was an alcoholic, but She wasn't a person who was sleeping around. She wasn't a person who, yes, when she was drunk, she would you understand? And I didn't like seeing her like that. You understand? I didn't like seeing her like that. I also drink, but I always make it a point to go to, I never do the things that my mom used to do, because those things, they would hurt. They would be painful. She's fighting with everyone. She's swearing at everyone and all those things. You understand? And she was also a God-fearing person, a woman. You know, she has passed on now, but I'm looking after my siblings now, and I always try to make sure I do my best to make sure that my siblings are okay. I don't put them through the trauma that I went through. You understand? Yes, my mom did a very good job. I don't want to lie to you. The only time where Beguba Kona, my hiccups and all of that, was when she was drinking, or she would be drinking, or she was drunk. You understand? So even me with having to say that, it also just takes me back to this thing, Oguchi. I believe in this thing, Oguchi. Just because I went through this doesn't mean the next person must also go through that. And if you can, or you've been checking out some of my videos on this page, you'll see good. I always say good. Just because you went through this doesn't mean that the next person must also go through that. Yes, it was painful. Yes, it was bad. Yes, it was wrong. You did not deserve that. You understand? But it doesn't mean now this must now be a generational thing, like a generational curse or generational reoccurring thing to each and every family member or person around you, or be it your family, your community, or anybody else. Regardless of the relationship that you have with that particular person, you know them or you do not know them, the pattern must just end with you. Because even when those things happen to you, they're not nice. They're not good. Yes, some people, they do feel like, no, I have to, no, why Minanghet? The next person must also feel what I went through. The next person must, it's not right. Wouldn't you have wished to go to what happened to you did not happen because the person who was supposed to treat you the way that you were treated was like, you know what, this person doesn't deserve what happened to me. I don't want what happened to me to also happen to this person. Wouldn't you have appreciated that? Wouldn't you have been thankful for that? Don't you think that your life would have been different positively? So I'm going to be going through these points and reading them. Please don't bear with me. And yeah, so apparently she's the one who called for an interview, and with that, how I see it, I think she did that to put her story out there, because as I said, including myself, a lot of people were coming with the wrong narrative, or a narrative that, yeah, I would say a wrong narrative. That's why she was like, you know what, I need to speak up for myself and let the people know, good, you know, this is what's actually going on. You'll only just see bits and pieces of what I said. Going back to that lion story, we only see one side. Let me tell you what is actually going on, has been going on, and this is what it is. So with this, I do commend her for that. You know, I do commend her for wanting to speak about this and to clear her name in a way. I haven't watched the whole interview, so as I said, this is the first 35 minutes of the interview. So yes, so she did give us a background of her upbringing, how she grew up, and I will not lie to you. She said her mom passed away when she was 2 years old, and she didn't know her father. And with her father part, It was sad to find out because I'm also share something similar with that. Okay, I got to be introduced to my father. I can't remember at what age, but maybe when I was 9. I don't know. But my father was not there. But he was aware that I'm here. You know, with that, it is very, very. And her father, she went looking for her father, Esemdal, when she was pregnant. So I can assume because she said she was pregnant at the age of 19. So I think maybe around that age. You understand? She grew up with. Okay, let me just finish her father story. She went looking for her father, and then she ended up finding her father, only to find out Guti, her father is okay. And her father is even aware of her, Guti. She has a kid. It's her. She said her father even remembers Guti. Seeing her with her mom and all of that. But now, and the father was married, everything. Married, wife, kids, J. Living life like he doesn't have another kid outside that he's not supporting. And I'm sure the father did also know Uguti, this child lost her mom at the age of 2. Now my question is, I always ask this question, Uguti, with the men who have kids and bibashiya kanjalo and carry on with their day-to-day ABC, what. Nenza kanjani? I'm not angry at my dad. I'm not. I'm just curious with nenza kanjani. I hope one day, and this just dawned to me, Guti, I have to one day ask him, Guti, how do you do it, Inji? How do you live your life, get married again, have kids? Don't the kids that you currently have even remind you of the kid that you know, Guti, you have outside and all of that? Does your wife even know about that kid? Nje, kwenzakalani? I'm under a blanket and it is sweaty AF. Angithi ngithanda ukuvisualize kanje. Kuti ciao. You know? Kwenzakalani? Mina ngikhiphile iblanket nyasha. Angeke. So nenza kanjani? How do you do it? How do you move on ngempilo yakho like ngathi like uba right, uyazi ukuthi ingane ayidli, uyazi ukuthi lengane mhlawumbe ayisana mama, uyazi ukuthi nje lengane nje isihlala nogogo nomkhulu. And yes, she did mention ukuthi when her grandfather was alive, or she was raised by a couple, and then she mentioned something ukuthi then when the grandfather passed away, she started living with her grandmother. That's when she had to now hustle. And hustle did not include her sleeping around, did not include her prostituting or doing all the wrong things. Because what she said was she would we'll have to get back to that part because I did write it down. But yeah, for now what I can say she did not do isn't easy out of the norm to make him mad. Because she did mention it about in primary school. It wasn't really a big deal if you didn't have shoes and stuff like that, because sometimes you would even go to school with a tool and all of that. And Mina, yes, as people, we do not grow up the same. You know, sometimes you think, do you have it bad? But there are people who really have it very, very bad. You know, Mina, yes, I went through what I went through, but my mom did a job. Why do I say that? This is even for you out there. Yes, there's this, there's that, this problem, all of that, but we should be grateful for the fact that our parents, they've tried. And I know it's a cliche, and I'm not also undermining what I went through, what you are going through, what you went through. But if you think that your story is bad, somebody's story is even worse than yours. Worse. So she said the time she say high school vele she would make sure ukuthi kumele ayophanda, you know, ukuthi akwazi when I get to that point, I think I did write it down. Ukuthi benzani mayisebenza to make imali so that she could have icathulo, because in high school vele it is embarrassing. Even in primary school, for us, if your mom was selling izinto esikoleni, you'd be embarrassed. I'm sure I'm not the only person who was like that. If you'd go to school petty papa or rice, it was embarrassing. But back then, it begun ngondo yomngane. You understand? It was. Now I have that low ngondo. I will not take myself out of the whole equation or anything like that. I did. You know, I do not recall it, or I'm not saying I never did ukuthi ngihleke umuntu ngahleki umuntu kanjani, but I don't know back then, because as we grow up, we become different people or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, because with us there was only noma ukuthi uphathe isinkwa, uphatha mawuphethe amakhekhe ne-rich or whatever ekhaya kini. And nalesinkwa kuyabheka ukuthi khona yini irama kuphela or i-peanut butter injamu, yoma kuphethe nopoloni, yoma khona no-cheese. So she did say ukuthi when her grandfather passed away, life really started lifing. And in Debshung is that not none of what you get in Debshung, but it is also painful what she says what she was doing well at school. Mind you, you're going through all of these things, but your head is still fixated at Guti. I believe she was like that. Guti, she was like, I want to have a better life. I want my life to change. One day, I want to be a successful person, so and so. Because throughout this whole 35 minutes, there was a point where she mentioned Guti, the English that Samke is speaking now, she's the one who taught her. She dropped out of or stopped pursuing her degree in order to help Samke. So you can tell what she is really a smart woman who decided to put her life aside in order for ingane yakhe ukuthi ikwazi ukuqhubeka ipush. Okay, a lot of things are coming in Ngondweni, but I just want to go through these points and then we'll talk about all those things as we go along. So she said she has 2 kids. One is 25, of which that's Samke, and then she has a 12-year-old boy. She was pregnant at the age of 19, and she was abused physically and sexually. I'll say allegedly, but that's what she said. And as I said, she went, when she was pregnant, she looked for her father and found out that the father was alive, away, and everything like that. And she also made another point, Oguti, Ashuguti, no one protected her. I think this point she said it a few times. No one protected her. And it goes back to this thing, Oguti, as a father, yes, the mom was no more at the time. But as ubaba, don't you think of those things with ingane yami idlala? Ingane yami igqokani? With this world, the way umhlaba ungakhona la ngaphandle, is my child safe? From this first 35 minutes of the interview, with everything that has happened to her, she still remained sane. She says she's a strict mother. She's a God-fearing woman, and yeah. You can imagine, Guti, because when somebody, I think I've once spoken about this, when I once spoke about I'm a RAP, or I'm a rapist, Guti. Another thing, I'm not condoning that at all, never. But we must also look at what happened. We're not excusing it, no. But now we want to get to the root of the problem in order to be able to fix it. What happened? But Mama Kasami could have also easily went and started become rebellious, started to not care for her kids, starting for a child to some gay at the time. The same way that she was neglected by her own father. But no. She stuck to her guns and wanted to raise her child. Going back to this thing, Yaguti, just because it happened to you, do not let it happen to the next person. Doesn't mean it must happen to the next person. You know? Because this woman actually went through, she was working in the farm, shortly after giving birth, hola 20 rand, and she mentioned ukuthi 5 rand being amasi, 5 rand being beer. Of which, to be off the topic, I wonder how much is mass now. I do eat mass. Mass, Malin, Nibia Malin. I just want to see that. Because she said 5 rand was for beer to give the grandmother that was looking after the child. She would go to the farm, work, take the kid, my daughter should go in or whatever. Ilale phansi kwehlahla, and even the time is security. Okay, that was at first. And then when she was a security guard, she says, Bella is a security guard, you sleep outside. Actually, you're not ever supposed to be sleeping at work, but she says she would sleep outside, and she didn't care. Officially now, it goes back to this thing that she also said about Samke'S Guti. Now Samke is coming out saying Guti, her mom was a prostitute, chopping and changing men, and all of that. And the mom said, if you say that I was also a prostitute, and you're asking Guti, what did I do with that money? That money is the money of graduating that help you get a degree on I. So, and then she also mentioned something about Guti, you have your degree, Samke, but you decide to choose the easy way out, of which that's selling your body, I assume. And if you look at how, with that statement and how the mom did things totally different, because her mom could have also done the same thing. Sold her body in order to make quick money and stuff like that. And she denied those allegations of her being a prostitute, of her sleeping with men, different, chopping and changing men. The reason that she said that she was probably somebody who would see different men was because with the man, the father of the boy, I assume, allegedly, was not serious about her or getting married. Because she says that every time they would talk about it, or she would bring it up, the man would just get defensive and be like, we'll get married when I'm 60 years old. Of which that never happened, because she says that they were still together when the man was 60 years old. And it never happened. So their relationship was, how she viewed it, it was something that was almost like an open relationship. Because if he's here, we are in love. If he's not here, that's that. So that's when I assume Guti, she would be dating this one, dating that one, dating that. Of which that is a very dangerous thing. I don't want to lie. I remember a friend of mine was like, who has 2 kids. Shout out to her. She was like, the guy that I'm currently dating, or any guy I date, will never meet my kids officially, in a sense of I would say, this is who, this is who. No. He will never officially meet my kids up until he decides to marry me. Because honestly speaking, with Umjolo, sorry about that, he truck, and I've opened the window. Umjolo, we're chopping and changing. It's on and off, on and off. So if you are going to introduce, I'm not saying she introduced, but in a way it is kind of like you're introducing, even if you don't say it verbally. If your child sees you with this one, that one, at the end of the day, chances of the child one day doing the same thing and coming back to say, good, now I'm also used to do this, very high, of which that's what's happening now with Samke and her mom. Because Samke sees it as her mom was sleeping around. And when she explains it, she says she was not sleeping around, she's just dating different men. So I do urge people, Guti, when you're still dating, do not bring him home if the kids are around. Do not allow yourself to be seen by your kid with this man, all these men. Do your things, iqeleni. Not saying don't date, do your things, iqeleni, and all of that. Why? We're also protecting ingane zethu. Not only ingane zethu, nathi futhi as parents. Izidima zethu. Because now, with all of this, the way I'm saying it, it's like when Samke saw these things, Shuti, she was kind of programming these things, because the mom did mention, Guti, there's a time when Samke hacked her phone. And I think it was around the age of 13, because she says that the second born was not there yet. And the boy is 20, she is 25, the boy is 12. Minus that's 13, or around that age. She was able to hack her mom's phone, and she saw videos of her and her mom. I take it was plus 18 videos. And then all these things that were being planted in her head. Planted. To a point, Oguti, I think she must have been like, Nam, one day, I want to do this. Because honestly speaking, 90% of the time, our kids look up to us. They want to be like us. The sad thing is that sometimes they will misinterpret certain things. That's why when you do into, be sure, Guti, when the kid finds out, vele ish. Yeah. So she spoke about when her meeting her father, the Samke's father. He was abusive. I can see this thing of someone falling for next person, because she said there was no love. In my eyes, I just see it as she wanted someone to take care of her. She wanted into being a escape from all the struggling and all of that. And I won't lie, that is also dangerous, because you do not know, Uguti, which hands are you going to land on. For example, in this case, this person was abusive to her. You understand? And we also do not know, Guti, did Samke also get to witness some of those abusing or abusive moments? No, do not know that. So far as we've went through this, her mom's life in jail has been, So I do feel like she fell for Samke's dad because of his security. She wanted to be taken care of, and yeah. And she did mention, Gutiana, she's a strict mother, spiritual, loves God, and she loves her kids. And she brought this thing up, Guti, no one protected her. I still commend her for this, Guti. She, as much as she went through what she went through, she still saw the need, Guti. I must protect my kids. Because I know how life is if there's no protection in your life or anyone caring about you. So, she was also even asked, Guti, the person, even I have to say this. The person I saw on the video and the person who's speaking now, two different people. And she even did say, good, even the people who know her, they were like, no, it's two different people. I have to agree with that. Because that's when she mentioned Guti, and she only drank when she was a teenager, and she stopped because it would make her emotional. And her grandmother was abusive verbally when she was drunk, swearing and doing all those things, and she didn't like that. So that's the reason why she decided to stop drinking alcohol and take her kids to the church and raise them the right way. I don't want to lie a bit bazama shame for those abazamai. And siyabonga abafethu yazi. Siyabonga. Siyabonga nje. Yes, nobody is perfect, but siyabonga. I have to say that. And then she did say go to Samke, changed in varsity. And they used to be very close. She denies ukuthi afake uSamke in lezinto zobuhosha and all those things. The life that she's living now. And then this is where the new baby daddy and Samke saga started. Because that's when she started to speak about Tukuti. These two, when there was a strike eskoleni, kids were being evicted, the family game. And this is not your child. Why would you give this child to come and stay with you and not give the child imali to go back home? And it didn't mention anything about the child getting a job, the child. And the way she explained it, if I'm not mistaken, it's like Nakolo flat. Because she mentioned Indogoti, if he comes back from work, he changes, wears a short and a t-shirt. Where is Samke during that time? This is when now she started revealing this thing, Indogoti. Vele, something was going on. Something was off. But why would you give the child to come and stay with you? And akukho nala kukhulunywa ngendaba ukuthi uhlala nami so that ezofuna amatoho or what. They didn't mention anything like that. You know. And then that's when Samke allegedly told the father that no, this is not your child. The son. You must do a DNA. Because my mom is a hoe. Now I'm asking myself, because her mom did mention in Dogote, she feels like Samke was jealous of her. The way I'm seeing it. After seeing those videos on the phone, or the video on the phone, my ampati alum, she started wanting to do this, to experience this. And she even warned Aban Besfaza, Nuguti, when you get a new boyfriend and you have kids, be careful. Because she even mentioned in Dogote, your kid can, I don't know if I should say the child falls victim or what, but are you still a victim if you can go to an extent which you poison your mom to get her boyfriend? Are you still a victim, love? Are you? I don't know. Because she did say, Guti, their relationship became way, 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 way too close for comfort, and yeah. And not her even talking about Indaba Yoguti, the man she was dating, the baby daddy, likes it shaved. And she knows, our parents know us, especially with women and girls, you understand? And also us boys, but when it comes to this, no. As boys, no. Our fathers don't know these things, and our mothers do not know these things because they never really get to see us in that state. However, the mother mentioned, Samke'S mom said she knows what Samke didn't shave. She knew nothing about shaving. But after her staying with this man, now when she comes back home, she's shaved. Njani. On top of them staying together, you giving the child to come and stay with you, and I was not told about that food. It was hidden. Yilapha qala bona ukuthi no content of and nami vele bengamothi no khona okurong la. Kanjani like kwenzeka kanjani? At this point now I'm asking myself, because she says that she was at the age around the age of 13, yes, Samke. She went to the hospital. When she got there, she was poisoned. She was staying with the Samke. She's alleging Guti Samke is the one who could have poisoned her because of Indot, of which that's the baby daddy. So, with all of this that having to happen, she did kind of like turn the blind eye, because she was like, with everything she went through, her hard work and everything, she thought it was going to be her and Samke against the world. And she even said to Guti, because she mentioned the house that they used to stay in, it was a house made of stones, not bricks, stones. So it was bad, Nje. It was very bad. Very bad. She said somewhere down with Lalela Dot. Our parents do tell us that. I don't want to lie. Remember my mom used to tell me, I'm with Sabel. Okay, that's the first time I'm even saying my name. But this I did that. Ubani. I did that. It's also by and I thank God for that. And I also have to credit myself with, I thank God I did not deviate from those words. I need to push it high. Yes, my life had to take a setback. And I do not regret that. I don't feel bad about that. Because I remember when my mom, if we found my house, kitchen, passage, and toilet, ama-aluminium windows, wanted to put them ngaphambili, dining room nasekamereni, ngafaka indlonke. Yes, it was by the grace of God. Yes, we all not lucky in terms of uthola umsebenzi, uzosinika kahle imali and all of that. And I'm also not saying ukuthi kukanjalo, but what I'm saying is that I thank God for that. Good, I did my very best to make sure ukuthi I change my mom's life. I change our lives. Same thing applies even now with my siblings. The life that I'm living now is way better than the life that I lived. And the life that I was living, I'm sure it was way better than what my mom's life was. So each and every time, each generation kept on upgrading. Also now, kukuzwana bafethu, we have to thank God ngalokho ukuthi la ekhaya siyazwana, la ekhaya siyasebenzisana. That's a blessing. Ayikho into ebuhlungu njengokuthi usacrifice everything, like what I'm seeing here. You sacrifice your whole life for someone only for them to just spit in your face and not appreciate what you've done for them. Ibuhlungu ke leyo nto. Ibuhlungu kakhulu leyo nto. I don't want to lie to you. Ibuhlungu. Yeah. And people will do that. They will do that. They will. So far, that's what I have with regards to this. I'm going to do another part 2 of that interview and everything. And then, yeah, but just so far, this is sad. This is sad. And I'm only getting to see more and more of the bigger picture. I know we still need to heal Samke and all of that, but with what I've just gathered so far, please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, man, I don't know what to say. I'll see you again on part 2, and